I'd like to welcome all of you to the Saturday session again. Good morning to those of you in the West. For me, it's evening or night. What are you going to do is most important. As I said, Tantra is a very powerful tool that you have. And within Tantra, Yantra and Mantra are also very powerful. Each day that we meet, each time we meet, we do mantras. Now, why do you do mantras? Can each one of you tell me why you're doing mantras, why you're here every Saturday without fail?
For me, it's just really wanting to clear out all the old patterns from my history that make me small and not empowered so that I can be of service and operate out of more consciousness than just reacting.
Now, are you getting stronger each day?
Yes.
Okay, that's the most important thing. Am I getting stronger with my practice? Because the mantras would deprogram your brains, but you also got to help the brains a bit by creating new program for yourself. So it when you do the mantras after over a period, it'll reprogram all your DNA. Okay, but what happens is if you don't reprogram your brain is still going to fill back what you've got rid of. It is not the recording in your brain that is important. The recording that it records in the cells, what we know as cellular memories. Things like cancer, tumor, all form of illnesses comes from cellular memories in the body. Some illnesses also come through stupidity, like me smoking cigars for 6 years. Okay? I thought as a yogi, I could handle it. Some pleasure in life is good. So I decided cigar would be my pleasure. But unfortunately, cigar, like alcohol, was a slow achiever. Eventually, it made a growth in my lungs. But because who I am, I'm not, like even the doctors say, wow, there's no symptoms of the illness. So what may happen is this, or suddenly one day I might say goodbye, but it'll take a while. I don't have to do much. It's just that I don't feed it fear. I don't sit down and think, oh, I'm going to die. I'm this, I'm that, I'm sick. The minute, like when I gave up smoking, I started feeling, oh, I have a growth in my lungs. Okay. And that affected my brains for a while. And then I said, Cal, if I have to go, I have to go. Why do I worry about whether going or coming? It all depends on the mother. And what Yama can say, okay, your time is up. You don't need to be on earth anymore. He might take me today, it might take me next week, it might take me 10 years from now. Hopefully 10 years from now. So I can see my daughter go through her studies, because it's important that I hang around a bit. But other than that, when you don't worry about anything, when you think of enjoying life and seeing the best of life, that doesn't mean going and having parties. And enjoying life is to feel the pleasure of, say, what comes from your spine. No amount of external activities can give you the pleasure like what a mantra would give you. Jennifer, what do you say with that?
Am I answering your other question or what you were just talking about? I guess I would say for your question, I'm here to learn and to align my higher self, and really align with love and
Who's responsible for love?
me.
That's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody can give you that love.
The more that I try to find it from other people, the less that I do. So yeah, it's all from me.
Yeah. No one can give you what you can't give yourself. So that's where a lot of people make a mistake. They say, if I buy a new car, I'll be happy. If I find a girlfriend, I'll be happy. If I find a boyfriend, I'll be happy. None of them would give you happiness. It'll give you more sorrow. That's a use by date on any relationship that actually looks for something outside. You only unite with someone that you want to dance, okay, with, not someone who come and make you dance. A lot of people want somebody else to make them dance. Nobody can give you that magic. The magic comes from you. Like, I don't have to tell you to smile and keep on smiling. Remember that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because in smiling, it's a very small thing that actually makes all the cells in your body relax. Smiling it's a very powerful tool. If you want yourself to relax, you want yourself to have a good life. Yeah. What do you have to say? What about
what was just being said about joy and inner joy? Actually, recently I found found a lot of joy with myself, and I enjoy my life today way more than I did in the past years. I hope to keep improving that. I'm still obviously working on improving what you were saying about introducing new programs, because as we deprogram our past, we need to bring in some positive new programs. So this is basically what I've been trying to improve in my life, and it's improving, and the practice helps a lot on that. And I find myself just sitting there and in silent meditation. Sometimes I just fall into silent meditation, and it can go for minutes without a mantra, and it's extremely joyful. And it's been happening without me doing so. It happens sometimes. When I want to do it, I can do it, but it happens sometimes. And yeah, that's it.
Why do you think when you want to do it, you cannot do it?
I think I limit my experience the moment my mind is trying to reproduce something that may be outside the mind.
Yeah.
Most of the time it happens. It's not something that I do.
Okay.
So I don't know how to do it.
Now, the question is this, there's no such thing as doing.
Yeah, true.
So how can you know what to do when there's no doing? But the most important thing is this, are you conscious of yourself all the time? Like, are you conscious when you breathe, which nostril you're breathing when you're lying down in bed? Which nostril makes you restless? Which nostril, when you're in bed, if you're restless sometimes, do you know which nostril is making you restless?
It happened to me sometimes when I felt like having to change sides because I was feeling restless. But I don't remember which side I would turn when this happened. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Okay, when you lie on your left side, your right nostril will become active. When you lie on your right side, your left nostril will become active. So which is better for sleeping?
I'm not sure, because I tend to, but most of the time it will be the left side.
Yeah. Now, do you hear your ear breath?
Here, I don't think I paid enough attention.
Yeah, which is also very important in Tantra, okay? Because you need to know your breath. Because when you can hear your breath, then you know you're doing mantra all the time. Because you do mantra all the time, okay? So, the mantra is so you're in your inner breath and outer breath. And then you need to know which chakra is also working at different states, especially for women. Because for women, you're governed by the moon, okay? And the moon governs breathing. So each time when you're breathing, it also breathes through different chakras. So when you do so is inhaling, and hum is in exhaling. And remember that your nostrils, the breathing can affect your emotion as well, can also affect your hormones. That's where you find that if your breathing is irregular, your breathing is not in harmony with yourself, then you find that you will always have this restless life. But more so, you will have also problems with your cycle. Your moon cycle is supposed to be the most powerful time of your month. That's the one that says you have the power to reproduce. That's the time when it says you are the same as the mother of creation. On earth, you create. The mother of creation creates in heaven. So that period and your blood is the most powerful of all. In a lot of countries, when they're bleeding, they go and squat in the field, especially the African nations, the old traditional in the bush, back in the bush days, not your modern African race, okay? The traditional African race, they discharge their blood into not because they didn't have cortex at tampon or whatever, because they knew the power, and they never had mental pains and discomfort, nothing. It used to be a joyous, powerful time. Whereas today, an average woman, most women have problems with their period, which is not natural. That is why doctors don't know what to do. They only know how to stop the period. Stopping the period is saying, like, making the womb becomes dysfunctional. After a while, it won't function anymore. And even if you accidentally get pregnant, you find that the child may not have the energy needed to come to this world and be a full person. So remember that you as a woman is very, very special. As I said, in creation, the human species, women are the highest. And when you think in terms of Tantra, the initiation is also women. Women are the initiators. Like the relationship between Shiva and Shakti is different at every level. It is the same with human level. Unfortunately, today in the modern world, the woman that is not trained to do her job as a nurturer, as a person who gives a passageway to the soul to come into this world and to celebrate that power and to know the responsibility that goes with it. They want the men to also have share the same responsibility. The man can do a certain amount, but he can never replace a woman. For the matter, a woman cannot replace a man either. They say like without Shakti, there's no Shiva. Without Shiva, Shakti is incomplete. So man cannot exist without you. But at the same time, if you think you are that, I don't need a man in my life. I don't need this. I don't need, I'm self-sufficient. I'm good enough for myself. Then you find you're in trouble again. Then you're incomplete because you don't have that extra balance in there. Unless you become a spiritual person who then takes another path to awaken that spiritual power within you. But if you want to work on a social level, then you need that union. That union gives you the tool to go deeper within yourself. You don't get married to have good sex, okay? The American way, they call it, or the Western way. They promote better sex. I mean, like, for instance, my village sons, okay? One guy got married, he stayed for a year, and then he went to work. We've been working in Singapore for 5. And for him, it's not like he calls every day, but the connection is not that necessary physically. The spiritual connection between them is still very strong because the purpose of marriage there is to create a family. It's not about having companionship. So you have to think very carefully. Even in Tantra, they say women is the highest, is a gift. You're a gift for creation, okay? In Tantra tradition, they also say a woman is considered higher than a man as far as tantric initiation is concerned, because a woman is evolved. Your spiritual attribute, okay, you're evolved of a higher consciousness. Your frame, your emotion, your psychic evolution is definitely higher than a man. The awakening of the spiritual force, that is Kundalini, is much easier in your body as a woman than in the body of a man. This, believe me, I have direct experience. I've worked with women that the energy moves more easily than the energy of men. With men, I have to take them through the practice, a different sort of practice compared to women. I have a powerful voice. When I sound a woman, that voice wakens up the Kundalini. But when I sound a man, it only makes him feel good. And if he has a lot of cellular memories that are really disturbing him, then he feels the cellular memories. Now, apart from the physical, aspect of women being highly charged with spiritual awareness, your external expression of a woman is love, beauty, tenderness, sympathy, understanding, expression. They're all expressions of your inner self. You bring joy and color to the world. And if you're not here, I hate to think what the world will be like. When you speak about women's body and you think in terms of Kundalini Yoga, it's really your body is really charged. The Muladhara center in a male's body is intricately situated in a very congested area. When a man does Mula Bandha and still nothing happens, but in a body of a woman, you can even touch the Muladhara with your finger. Therefore, awakening can be taken place in a woman's body much more quicker than that of a man. Then you have to think about the other factor, that you are the transporter of energy. As a woman, you're the transporter of the energy. And both women need you, okay? But you only need it if you're conscious of being the transporter. Your biological self doesn't help much, okay? The biological self must be motored by your subconscious and conscious self. Then you become a great carrier of energy. That's why you find if you go to a lot of temples, weddings, anything in Indian society, the woman is always doing everything. The man only does what he's told to do because he wouldn't know what to do. This is very true because in Malaysia, where my sister, mother, they know more than, they know everything that the priest is supposed to do. And the men will be sitting down and talking in groups, and the women will be out there doing all the ceremonies that's going to happen with the priest. So remember again, okay, in Tantra, you are the most powerful. Your Kundalini energy can move very easily. But remember, Jennifer, you got to do 2 hours mantras to achieve that. Half an hour, you will keep dreaming of it. But 2 hours, you will start feeling that energy even more powerful. You're gifted because your emotion as a number 4 is very even wired more intricately. So if you want to grow spiritually very fast, you can. But it doesn't come, in a golden platter for you at half an hour a day practice. 2 hours a day, you might see the golden platter appearing. So the importance of Tantra is mantra and yantra. Okay. Apart from that, we have to also understand that we have to learn that sound that the sound of your breath is very important. In feeling your breath, in hearing your breath, you also understand where you are. Then you got to understand all the elements, what they do for you, what they do in your life. When you think, you got to work towards your internal organs. Okay, like the earth, nourishes your physical body and your muscles, bones, hair. Water nourishes your body fluid, such as blood and lymphatic system. The fire nourishes your digestive fire. Air nourishes prana. Circulation, the circulation system in your body. The most important thing, air is prana. Then akash or ether nourishes your ears, sperms, brain. So when you think in terms of, you have to start learning, have to start being aware of all the elements in your body. You got to keep smiling. Then you find that you start feeling like you close your eyes and you can feel your ears, the sound of your ears. You can feel the sound of your breath. And then when you do mantras, you go, You can feel the sound, on your teeth, your nostrils, your throat, your heart. So they move around. And the more you do the M, the longer it goes through your body. So it is important that you learn the various things about Tantra, like breath. There's a lot of material. I mean, Google is great. You just type and you get information, the intellectual side of it. But the spiritual side of it is, once the intellectual side of it can recognize it, the spiritual side of you will then start slowly understanding. You need to research to get the importance of what you want to experience, and then you can find the information you want. So what I do here is I give you which is to do with breath. There are books on it, but you want to know basically breathing, what each breath would do, and what are the elements that are involved when you want to heal yourself. Okay, then if you want to heal yourself of earth-dominated illnesses, then you know that for say 20 minutes, 1 hour after the daylight, for 20 minutes, it's earth-dominated. Okay, so within the hour, then you have the earth-dominated, and then you have the water-dominated, the fire, the air. So when you're meditating, if you take a time and you start knowing when the nose is changing on its own, then you find the Swasana rhythm, and then you find that you go through the different breaths, and then you can do the mantras for the elements and for the breath. And next week I'll give you Janine, you have the mantras from the elements. You know where it is?
Elements, no.
Okay, let me go on. So Om for Ita. Okay, that's the one that you do. When you do Om, you do it to the third eye and your nostril and your ears. The Om will go through all those areas. Okay. Then Ram is for fire element. Gam is for earth element. Then the Kleem is for water element. Hum is for air element. Now, as you see, they have sound and form. So Kleem is the Bija sound. It's a sound. A Bija mantra, it has an image, okay, which is revealed by the simple mantra. So when you do Kleem, it will reveal to you when you have done it the correct way, and not straight away. Okay. Some of you might experience it straight away. Some of you might take a longer time for you to experience that. And Kleem is your water. Okay. So as women, Kleem is important for you. It also deals with the water in your womb to balance the energy of your womb. Okay. But Kleem is also for karma, which is for pleasure. So that's why when you do the mantra Kleem, you do it for two purposes. One, to take it down to your vagina, at the same time into your womb. So it brings out that, and you'll find pleasure. Then you can do which is for air element. Okay, Marie, you want to try doing each one of the sounds?
Are each of them 3 times?
3 times, yeah.
Om Ram.
The rum, you have to take it down to your navel.
Ram. 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 Gum.
Now, how do you send the gum down to the earth element, down to your base chakra?
Down to Muladhara as
Yeah.
we do in Ganesha mantra.
Yeah. How do you do the gum? Gum. So that you can feel the sound go straight down there. When you do it like you normally would do a mantra, it doesn't travel.
Gum. Gum.
The most important, again, your M has to be very long.
Gum.
The ripple has to go as far as possible. And if you cut the M very short, then there's no ripple. So it doesn't travel very far.
Gum. Gum. Gum.
How did I teach you how to do clean?
To take it down to the, I was trying to take it down to the
Yeah,
womb. Clean. 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 How should I do the hum?
Gotta come to your heart.
Hum. Hum. Hum.
Okay, Jennifer. A bit more forceful, the M. You can take the R-A to the navel.
Longer? A little
Yeah.
longer?
Yeah.
Okay. Ram. 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 Gam.
You got to do the gum like you do the Ganapati.
Gum. 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 Clean. Clean. Clean.
More like you do the sound cream to the art. Okay, thank you. Oh, you didn't do clean yet, you mean?
I did clean, so
Thank you then. Okay, Janine.
Gum. 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 Clean. Clean.
Try to do the KLI a bit longer.
Clean. Clean. Clean.
How do you feel?
Super duper.
Super duper. What is that actually?
Really good. A friend of mine says that.
No, I know. I'm just teasing you. So if you do the element, be conscious of it, and then like there are times when you look at your breath, you feel your breath, you feel the elements, you think, then you sort of visualize doing Om for Eta. So going through all the space within your body, and then hum your lungs, your breathing, your heart, and then rum your digestive fire. Think of your digestive fire, feel the energy in your belly, but also feel the fire in your heart, because you need love. For love, you need the fire to burn as well. So it's sort of like not just on your navel, not just your digestive fire, but all the fires in you. Then the gum, you got to make sure that the sound goes down to the base chakra. So you go gum. So you contract your pelvic area. So you sort of like, you're pushing the energy, the sound straight down to your base chakra that way. And then the clean, you got to be always conscious of it, got to go to the yoni. So you need it to be long KLI. Today I may have, you're already bored with me, my dear.
No, I went to bed at 2 a.m. because we had a big celebration of 7 years at our dance studio last night. About more than 50, 60 people came, so I'm tired.
So you're a naughty girl last night.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. See you, girls. Thank you for
Take
being
care.
here. Love you.
Thank
Love
you.
you. Vanakkam.
Thank you,
Bye.
Vanakkam.
Vanakkam.